what's your take on the movie and part two and that's yet to come out and stuff like that's interesting because most people don't get to go to a Broadway play in the United States. It's too far away. So their
Right.
closest thing that they can get to is a movie about it. And unfortunately, to me, a movie sometimes doesn't give the magic that a play does because the play, you guys got to memorize everything and do everything right. Whereas in a movie, they can take takes and there's different angles and stuff like that. And believe me, I'm not downplaying the movie. I'm just saying I believe that theater is a little bit more difficult than film. But what's your take on the movie and the upcoming part two?
So it's easy. Well, it's not easy, but most Broadway shows do have tours that go around the country and around the world. So if it's in a city near you, you can see Broadway shows that are as good as the Broadway productions. The movie. I mean, I did grow up in Kansas, so I'm very familiar with The Wizard of Oz. I'm very familiar with the novels of The Wizard of Oz, the original source material written by Frank Baum. And I've read Wicked, the novel, which is the source material for Wicked, the musical. And I work on Wicked, the musical. I think what they did with the movie, and I haven't seen the second part. I'll see that. We're getting a preview of it. I'll see that in a couple of weeks. But what I was so impressed with in the first part is that it is its own thing. If you haven't seen the musical, if you haven't seen The Wizard of Oz, or read any of that, it stands alone. Like you're not going to not understand the story. If you have any of those other things, you'll start getting Easter eggs, as they say. But what I love about the movie is that it pays such beautiful homage to MGM and the original Wizard of Oz. It pays homage to the novels of The Wizard of Oz. It pays homage to the musical. I mean, it is the musical, but like you pointed out, it can't be they didn't just film the musical and shove it up on a screen. And I don't know for sure, but there's a moment in one of the big production numbers that I think they even do a little choreographically. Yeah, I'm going to go with that word, choreographically. Someone will correct me, I'm sure. That they put in some of the Wiz. And Paul Tazwell, who's the costume designer, envisioned such beauty. The casting is brilliant. I like everything they did is beautiful and wonderful. And there are little nuggets. The more you know, the more nuggets you see. But it is definitely standalone, and I am very excited to see part two. We've all been talking about it and what we think. Yeah, and they used people from Wicked to do the singing, the chorus singing. Stephen Schwartz and Winnie Holtzman, who are composer and book writer, are in the movie. I don't want to spoil all the movie if people haven't seen it, but yeah, there are a lot of great little nuggets in it. But it stands alone, but it stands alone with great homages.
Is there any deviation from the play to the movie that you've noticed?
Absolutely. Well, so basically part one is act one. And so the musical runs 2 hours and 58 minutes. The movie runs about 3 hours. So what we tell in 2 hours, they're telling half of it in the 3 hours. So they're able to extend the story, extend scenes, go deeper into people's stories. But as far as the actual steps of the story, no, they line up pretty solid. They can just open them up a little bit more because they have more time and can be more expansive.
Yeah, a little bit more cinematography.
Yeah,
and stuff
absolutely.
added
And
to
it's
it.
so beautiful if you have it. Both the musical, but the movie is also, they're beautiful things to look at. Just beautifully done.
Now, what do you find is the most challenging part of your career as a person that does the wardrobe and assists with the wardrobe? What do you think? I mean, we talked about, fixing a broken boot and things like that, but I mean, what do you find is the most challenging part?
Um, I think for me, for Wicked specifically, I don't think theater people are made to be on the same thing for 20 years. So the hardest thing for me was to find the joy in the repetition, to find the joy in knowing that I am affecting people's lives. I have people, when they find out that I work on Wicked, the amount of stories I hear of how it affects them and how much they're touched by it. And when I get all uppity and like, I hate Broadway, Wicked, I think about those stories and I think about the magic that I'm helping to create. So it's for me, yeah, the hardest part is maintaining my own joy in the magic and the opportunity, and realizing that there are thousands of people that want my job, want to do what I do, want to be on a Broadway stage, to work on a Broadway musical, and that I am very lucky and very blessed, and to have the opportunity to do it.